Delmenhorst is an urban district in Lower Saxony, Germany. It has a population of 74,500 and is located 10 kilometers west of downtown Bremen, with which it forms a contiguous urban area, whereas the city of Oldenburg is 25 kilometers to the northwest. The city has a total area of 62.36 square kilometers and a population density of approx. 1,200 inhabitants per square kilometer. Since 2006, the mayor has been Patrick de Lillana. History: Delmenhorst was first mentioned in a charter in 1254, after the Count of Oldenburg, Otto I, bought the place near the river Delm in 1234. A castle to protect the newly founded settlement was established in about 1247. The following Count, Otto II, made the castle his residency. Delmenhorst was declared an independent town on 15 July 1371 under Bremen's law. After a short period under the governance of the Bishop of Bremen from 1421 to 1436, Delmenhorst returned under the custody of Oldenburg. Delmenhorst later was infamous for its robber baronship under the Count Gerd. Its reign ended in 1482 thanks to a siege laid to the castle under the leadership of the Bishop of Munster. Therefore, the town now was under Munster authority until finally Count Anton I won back the town as well as the castle in 1547. When the last heir of Anton, Christian, died in 1647, Delmenhorst again fell under Oldenburg custody. As Oldenburg belonged to Danish kings and the Oldenburg regent of that time was a relative of the Danish king, Delmenhorst was thereafter under Danish control. In 1767 Delmenhorst was bought by Tsarina Catherine II, but was given up to New Oldenburg in 1773. In 1777 Delmenhorst was declared a dukedom of Oldenburg. In 1806 a French and Dutch army occupied the territory. Delmenhorst was a part of the French Empire under Napoleon from 1811 to 1813. In the industrial age, Delmenhorst experienced great economic growth, thanks to Bremen. Since Bremen was in a different duty zone, merchants who wanted to export manufactured goods outside of Bremen had to pay high customs duties. They therefore only exported the resources and produced their commodities in the surrounding villages. The industries arising were the jute, a spinning works and weavery in 1871, the Delmenhorst linoleum fabric, a linoleum factory, in 1882, the Norddeutsche Wollkammerei und Kammgarnspinnerei Nordwoll, another bigger spinning works, and several others. The number of inhabitants quadrupled in these years. In 1903 Delmenhorst was declared kreisfrei, meaning it was under its own regentship, not having to obey any other county. In the 1930s Great Depression, the Nordwoll went bankrupt. Nevertheless, the town grew bigger, incorporating several smaller villages around it. On Kristallnacht in November 1938, the synagogue was burned down by the Nazis, who had come to power in Germany in 1933. After the Second World War, Delmenhorst was in the British zone of occupation and had to deal with thousands of refugees from Eastern Germany, which now was occupied by the Soviet Union. The British-appointed mayor during the British occupation was Major Jack Wolfe, an inspector of the British Constabulary. In 1950, more than 57,000 people lived in Delmenhorst. Since the 1960s there has been a steady decrease in employment, leaving more than 13% of the town's inhabitants unemployed and nearly 7% living on social welfare. In the year 2000, Delmenhorst was an outpost of the Hanover-based Expo 2000. Main sites. The landmark of the town is the Water Tower complex with the adjacent town hall, built from 1910 to 1914 by architect Heinz Stoffregen. Another interesting place is the Burginsel, in which the old castle existed in medieval times. The construction was torn down during the 18th century. Today a park occupies the grounds of the old castle. The industrial history of the town is presented by the Nordwall Museum, an anchor point of ERIH, the European route of industrial heritage. International relations. Twin towns. Sister cities. Delmenhorst is twinned with sons and daughters of the town. Arthur Figure, painter. Ivan Bloch, physician and sexologist. Fritz Stuckenberg, painter. Reinhard Kuretsky, athlete. Paul Walter. Wolfgang Michels, musician, singer, composer and author. Volker Wieker, general inspector of the Bundeswehr. Claudia Kempfert, environmental economist and energy expert. Tim Fischer, composer. Ernst Marcus Thomas, television presenter. Christian Durr, politician.